Yes, you did read that right. I got a 4.0 this past semester of Harvard Online. For the past 4 months, I've been grinding, stay at home, studying, reading, writing, all of that to make sure that I destroyed the 4 classes that I was taking this semester. This is something that I worked extremely hard for, considering that last semester, Harvard students did not get any GPA boost because sending us home for the pandemic, they had to change our grading scale, and they made it so that everyone was under mandatory emergency, satisfactory, or unsatisfactory. If you got satisfactory, it wouldn't change your GPA in any way. But if you got unsatisfactory, that was the equivalent of getting a failing grade. So your GPA could decrease last semester, but it couldn't increase. Students found a lot of students were not happy with that. Anyway, I got my satisfactories last semester. My GPA stayed where it was. This semester, I got a 4.0. That means my GPA was able to go up. If you're looking for a video on how to have a successful virtual semester, that's another video. I already made that. If you're looking for a video on how to prepare for finals, I already did that video. I can put them in the description. That way you can watch them. They'll also be at the end card at the end of this video, so they will be there for you to watch. I think that I'm a great student. My teachers also apparently think I'm a great student. And next semester, I'm only going to have 2 courses that I need to take to finish everything I'm trying to finish. I already finished my concentration requirements. I already finished my citation requirement. I have 1 course that I need to take for general education and 1 course that I need to take for my minor in African American Studies. Also, my concentration, my major, that's molecular and cellular biology. So this video is going to be talking about the finals that I did to secure those A's that I have been working for this entire semester. And I'm going to start off with the Biochemistry of Membranes. The Biochemistry of Membranes is the final course that I took for my concentration. So now I'm done with molecular and cellular biology. I've done everything that I needed to do for my concentration. And this was a great class to end on because everything was just so simple. Like, he didn't make things unnecessarily hard, and I really appreciate that. The Professor Guido Guidotti, he is Italian, adorable, and he just came to class ready to try and teach us in this Zoom platform because there were times where he was having technical difficulties, but he always came ready and willing to learn, well, for him, teach, and also trying to get to know us. So there would be 5 or 6 minutes at the beginning he would take to ask us how we're doing, what did people do over the weekend, that kind of thing. The final for this course was that we had to come up with a experiment proposal, and we had to write 1,000 words for that. Then we had a 10-minute presentation on that experiment proposal. Like if you are writing a grant for some question that you were trying to answer, what would the question be and how would you answer it through the scientific method? So after I finished my 10-minute presentation, he went, "That sounds like a good experiment." And I went, "Yes." Not in real life, but in my mind, I went, "Yes." And that's how I got my A for the Biochemistry of Membranes. The next course was How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, Black Love and the Emotional Politics of Respect. This course had 2 teachers. I had a great TF, and we only met once a week, so it was interesting meeting for 2.5 hours and then leaving to read a book and then like 3 essays and watch a video and then come back again for the next course. We also had great speakers. We had Lahore Vagistan, we had Hilton Als, we had one of the writers for The Watchmen come. They were killing it. They were killing it with the guest speakers. This final project, we had to write a 7 to 10 page paper about one of the topics that we went over in class and how it related to a theory. So every lecture was a different topic. Black love, love of country, love of a spouse, love of a friend, platonic love, that kind of thing. And the theories that we had to choose from were counterlanguage, intersubjectivity, those kinds of things. I wrote about intersubjectivity. But on this one, my TF didn't give any comments at the end. I'm guessing because there were so many and because the essays were longer than what we usually did. So I'm going to read what she wrote for one of my other essays that I did in this class. My TF was Anara. If you ever have the opportunity to have Anara as your TF, you should get in that section, take that class because she is amazing. Her comments on my second paper were, "You showed great understanding of the social science theories of intersubjectivity, counterlanguage, and socialization. Good job not only explaining how each of these theories operates, but also how they work together and then utilizing primary sources that we've analyzed in the class from films like Love and Basketball, Insecure, and numerous music videos to prove your argument. You have really done a great job demonstrating that you have an expert understanding of the course materials and are able to apply the theoretical lens to the primary sources to provide further support. I also want to commend you on just how many primary sources you were able to incorporate into your paper. As a scholar, you convince the reader why intersubjectivity is so crucial to better understanding Black romantic love and understanding the practices that make it successful. I enjoyed reading your paper. Job well done." And I'm just sitting there like, oh, she thinks that about me? Because I think of myself as a fully STEM person. Writing is not something I usually do. I'm usually given, like, my finals usually are a 3-hour sit down. You have, 15 questions to answer where they each have 4 different parts. That's usually what my tests are like. So just this class being a 7-page final was different for me. Next class was Global Feminisms. In this course, I was so excited to take because I'm a feminist. I feel like it is obvious that there should be equality between the sexes. Some people disagree, but they can have their own opinion. Anyway, I took this class. It was the one that I was most excited for because as soon as I saw the title, I enrolled in the class. For this final, we had to either create a podcast, which me and my partner were thinking of doing that, and then we got closer to actually having to do it, and we were like, let's not do that. So we decided to create an outline for a conference, and the conference could be on any topic, any theme. You had to come up with panelists, you had to come up with performers, those kinds of things. You had to literally create what the content of your conference was going to be. And we really enjoyed being able to have that sort of creative liberty with the final. That's what made it fun. It wasn't something that felt like oppressive and very constricting, but because they said you can do whatever you want, invite whoever you want, they can be living, they can be dead, they can be real, they can be a fictional character. That is what made this final very fun. And I'm going to read the comments that the TF left on that final. The TF that I had for this class, Sarah Kang, fantastic. I would also recommend that if you can have her as your TF, you should definitely go for the class. Dear Jasmine, your final project on the issues involving visual representations of women of color in media is excellent. This conference covers a range of topics we discussed both in section and in Professor Mitra's lectures throughout the semester, including issues of representation, women in sports, the problem of Black hypersexuality, and the wonderful discography of Nina Simone. It's great to see all of these important topics culminating into one conference, and I think you both did a great job synthesizing history, culture, media, and music here. It made me think a lot about the hegemony of the male gaze in visual representations of Black female artists, particularly in music videos where we often see heteronormative displays of male fantasy, and I think your inclusion of Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion challenges this in many ways. Their music takes a stand against the fetishization of Black bodies and seeks to reclaim the sexuality of women of color that have been commodified throughout history. Also, the location and cost of attendance of the conference was not lost on me. Good job. Overall, your in-section presentation, Canvas postings, and comments in section were incisive and much appreciated. I hope that you take these tools of feminist critique with you as you continue your journey at and beyond Harvard. It was a delight to have you in my section, Jasmine, and congratulations on getting through this hectic and very unusual semester. Grade for conference and class A. So, as you can tell, I loved participating in this course. I love being able to create that final, and because I don't want you all to just like hear the comments of these finals and not have any context of what I wrote, I am going to be making other videos where I either read if it's an essay or explain what it is that I did for the final. My final class was the history of African Americans from the slave trade to the Civil War. This class was a lot of reading. We had to buy more than 10 different books. I generally am not a reader for like courses. It's more go to lecture, take notes, work on a problem set for the next like 2 or 3 days. Turn that in, repeat. That's typically what I do. But this class had me reading 150 to 200 pages a week, and I surprisingly didn't hate it. It was hard, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed being able to read about a topic that I was not exposed to. And for the final, we had to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words. So I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I know enough words. But then I look at the rest of the prompt and it's about movies. I love movies. I could talk forever about movies. I can analyze them. I could pull out like, oh, you see this, you see this, you see this. Like that is just what I do on the regular. So being able to do that for the final made it so much easier to write. Being able to sit there and just type about movies was super easy for me, especially considering that's what I wrote my college essay about. And I'll make a video about my college essay another time. And I am going to make videos about those last 3 finals. I don't think you all want to hear me give a 10-minute presentation about sodium, potassium, ATPases, and mental illnesses. I don't think that you all want to hear that, but if for some reason you want me to make a video about my final for the biochemistry of membranes and just like redo it, sure, you can put that in the comments, but I am going to be making 3 videos about those last 3 finals that I talked about. And with that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.